Okay, today we're going to work on lines and angles. A lot of vocabulary, so you're going to want to stop as we move through. Take some definitions down. What we're going to learn is to classify angles formed when two lines are cut by a transversal, and not only classify those angles, but then find the missing angle measures when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Here are some definitions. The transversal is that line that crosses through, it travels across two parallel lines, two lines, and we're working on parallel. Interior angles are 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exterior 1, 2, 7, and 8. I know I'm going through these fast. You might have to pause again. Think about what alternate interior. Alternate means they're on opposite sides of the transversal, but they're interior. Why do you need to know this? Because alternate interior angles are congruent. Whatever angle 6 is, angle 4 is going to be congruent to it. Whatever the measure of angle 3 is, angle 5 is going to equal the measure of angle 5. If you have alternate interior angles, you also have alternate exterior angles. Again, those are the exterior angles, 1, 2, 8, and 7. And alternate means they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So 2 and 8 would be congruent to one another, and 7 and 1, measure of 7 and 1 be equal. Corresponding angles. If you look at the parallel lines, corresponding, 6 corresponds to 2. So if you look at that transversal, look at the parallel lines, the number in the top right, if you think of that, the 4 angles that are formed, the top right, 6 and 2, they correspond. The bottom right, 7 and 3 correspond. 1 and 5 corresponds. And again, why do we need to know that? Because those are equal. The measure of those angles are equal.
I am going to need all teachers out of the building by 4 o'clock.
Okay. Now we have vertical angles. Vertical angles aren't on that sheet, but you need to know these. Vertical angles are made when two lines intersect. They're the lines opposite one another. And vertical angles are also congruent. So if we go back to the sheet previous, we can see that 6 and 8 are vertical. 6 and 8 are also congruent. 5 and 7 are vertical. They're also congruent. You need to know that sometimes, a lot of times. So you need to know what vertical angles are. We also have this thing called complementary angles. Two angles that form 90 degrees. The sum of the angles form 90 degrees, a right angle. We also have supplementary, and that's where angles combine, the sum of them add up to 180 or a straight line. I've remembered this over the years because complementary starts with a C, 90 is less than 180, supplementary because it's further in the alphabet, and that's 180. That's the way I've remembered it all my life. You do it however you can. Okay, we're going to find out some now. The furniture designer built the bookcase shown. Line A is parallel to line B. That other line is called a transversal. If the measure of angle 2 is 105, find the measure of angle 6 and angle 3. Please find it in that order. And that's the order we're going to do them. So the measure of angle 6. And go ahead and pause, find it. Since 2 and 6 are supplementary, the sum of their measure is 180. If we know the measure of angle 6 is 180 minus 105, we know angle 2 is 105. So 180 minus 105, we know 2 measure of angle 6 has to be 75. So you're going to do it because they're supplementary. Now the measure of angle 3, that would be the next one. And angle 3 would be because 6 and 3 are alternate interior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal, okay, there you go. The measure of alternate interior angles are equal. If we know 6 is 75, we know 3 is 75 as well. That's just the kind of logic. If you use that logic, this stuff is simple. Don't try to fight it. There's only going to be, of these 8 right here, there's only going to be 2 measures. It's either going to be 105 or it's going to be 75. So now this one causes a little bit more problem. You have 2 parallel lines that are cut by 2 transversals. So you have to be a little careful with that. They show you this red right here, angle 8. We know that's 90 degrees. The measure of angle 1 is 40. So if angle 1 is 40, they want you to find the measure of angle 7. Go. And this would be where you pause and you have enough information to find that answer. Okay, you're back. 1 and 6 are alternate exterior. 1 and 6 are alternate exterior angles. You also could say 1 and 3 are corresponding. It's going to give you the same answer. But let's stick with 1 and 6 are alternate exterior angles. Therefore, we know that 6 is 40. Okay, if you know 6 is 40 and you know 8 is 90, they form a straight line. Therefore, they have to add up to 6, 7, and 8 have to add up to 180. You got 40, you got 90 plus whatever 7 is. Yeah, 40 and 8, 90, you get 130. 180 minus 130 equals, and that's what 7 is 50. Okay, that's it. There's some work now for you to do. And we're going to use Cami today. So that's the lesson for the day.